know that you had the opportunity to speak with Giants GM Joe Schoen, got some information from him one-on-one. What can you tell us about your conversations with Joe Schoen of the Giants, who hold the third pick tonight?
Hey, Evan, thanks for having me on the show. Thanks for this opportunity to start draft day. 17 hours early, baby. Come on, let's get it going on this Unsportsmanlike show. I love it. How's things out there in Green Bay? Good? Yeah? Fantastic,
yes.
I'm sure.
You know, it's interesting. The sun has come up and somehow we all got colder, which makes no sense. But you know what? It's Green Bay, Sal Pal. You've covered a million games here. It should be cold. It would be wrong if it was warm here.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, it's warm here in New York. The Giants are on the hot seat. They are in the sweet spot of the 2025 NFL Draft, the pivot point, the drama point. I sat down, as you said, Evan, one-on-one in his office yesterday with GM Joe Schoen, and I came away with 3 specific things. So let's go through it. Number one, the Giants are still fielding calls for the number 3 spot. They're still talking to other teams that may be interested in jumping up to number 3. I asked Joe Schoen, who are they looking for? And he said, I don't know. But I'm going to give you some informed speculation and say it's one of 3 players. I think it's either Shedeur Sanders, Abdul Carter, or Mason Graham. That's what the 3 that I think that it'll be, because I think Cam Ward and Travis Hunter are going to be gone. So that's one. Point 1 is he's still taking calls. Point 2 is the Giants have done a ton of work on Shedeur Sanders, a ton. No team has done more work on Shedeur Sanders than the Giants, scouting him, going to his games, the last-minute workout last week where the entire team took John Mara's plane out there to Boulder, Colorado, and worked out Shedeur Sanders in person. Number 3, I don't think, according to Joe Schoen, that they have a mandate to take that quarterback at number 3. Remember, they're 3-14. They need wins. They need to build their team. They need help right now in 2025. And that was the last thing that Joe Schoen said to me, Evan. He said, bottom line is I need to do what's going to help the New York Giants in 2025. So I think, now I'm going to give you my opinion. I gave you my reporting. I'm going to give you my opinion now. I think the Giants are 99% going with a blue-chip prospect other than Shedeur Sanders there, but there's always the hope that they will take a quarterback later on in the draft.
Wow. Okay, Sal, so we're talking about the top three picks. You said that Cam Ward and Travis Hunter will be off the board with the first 2 picks. Now, the Cleveland Browns are sitting there with the 2nd overall selection. Are we sure that the Cleveland Browns are taking Travis Hunter tonight? Or is there the potential for some fireworks early on round 1 in the NFL draft?
My man, Chris Canty, you know I love some fireworks now. Come on now. You know I want some fireworks at the top of the draft. Because there isn't after Cam Ward, we don't know what's going to happen. And teams are talking to other teams. Like the Eagles are talking to a lot of different teams. They picked 32, but they got a lot of holes because of free agency on defense. And Howie Roseman has 20 picks probably in the next 2 drafts. You know he's talking to people. The Giants are talking to people at 3. The Raiders are talking to people. The Saints are talking to people. There's no question, because you don't have more than maybe 5 or 6 blue chippers, bona fide blue chippers in the first round, that teams are trying to move around. So I think I've covered – this is my 30th draft with ESPN. I think this is the most intriguing, most dramatic top of the draft I've ever seen. I don't think we know what's going to happen after 1. At 2, the Browns could be just the Browns and do the wrong thing. The Giants need picks. I'm going to get in trouble for that one.
I love when Sal goes out of reporter mode into just ripping the team.
I love it. Amazing.
I know. I'm going to get a call from my friend Peter John Baptiste in a second here. He's going to be listening to the show. He's going to be all over me.
That's the Browns PR guy, by the way, for those who don't know.
I hope that the Cleveland Browns, figure things out, because we love going to Cleveland. It's a fantastic place. It's a great sports town, and you want them to figure it out. But you want the Giants to figure it out. This is one of the Tiffany original teams in the National Football League started in 1925 by Tim Mara, the godfather of the team, and they just celebrated their 100th anniversary and had one of their worst record as a team. So it's good for the league. It's good for fans. It's good for football if the Giants turn it around. And when you look at the Giants, remember this. This is an organization that's about to sell a minority stake in the team. And this is a team with the worst record in the last 8 years in the National Football League. They need a jolt. They need somebody to turn out the lights. Saquon Barkley turned out the lights last year. They need somebody to go in there and, as Chris Candy said, man, provide some fireworks. Get on the back page of the Post and the Daily News. You know, Steve Cohen went out there and got Juan Soto for $700 gazillion. The Yankees have Aaron Judge. If you draft Shedeur Sanders at 3, you turn the lights back on. So I'm giving you my opinion now. I understand that they need picks and need players, but they need some sizzle and some steak. And, you know, everything comes down to showbiz. We're in the entertainment business. If they pick Shedeur Sanders, people will go crazy about the New York Giants.
They will, Sal. You've given us so much information. I'm just going to connect the dots on a few things for my next question. So Shedeur still on the board, potentially number 3. We know the Giants have worked him out a lot. You said that they've done their due diligence on him. If, in fact, they do go blue chip player at number 3, but they want to jump back into the first round and get a quarterback, let's hypothetically say Shedeur Sanders is not there. Are you getting a read throughout the league who that next quarterback could be after Cam Ward and potentially Shedeur Sanders? Because that's another thing that makes this draft so intriguing, Sal, is that we have such a variance when it comes to the evals on these other quarterbacks.
What I'm hearing, Michelle, great question, and this is the ultimate question of what the Giants may or may not do at the quarterback position if they pass on Shedeur Sanders. But let me digress for a second. I am looking forward to the moment when you look on Mike Greenberg's face tonight on the draft when the Giants put the card in and it's Shedeur Sanders. The desk will go nuts if that does happen. So I'm looking forward to that moment. But if they don't take Shedeur Sanders, the next guy in line, I believe, from talking to people around the National Football League, is Jackson Dart of Ole Miss. I am told Brian Daboll loves Jackson Dart, that Jackson Dart has some of the traits that Brian Daboll saw in the young Josh Allen when he was the OC. And he coached Josh Allen, a playmaking ability. And listen, there's a team 89.7 miles south of me right here in the Meadowlands, and that's where I am, that picked a quarterback in the second round who played in Alabama and went on 34. I don't think the Giants want to part with 34 because that's such prime real estate in the draft. And they only have 8 picks. And like I said, they were 3-14 last year. So if you have to give up number 34 to go back into the first round and give up another pick in order to do that, then you're investing a whole lot of draft capital in a guy who's really a second-round pick. So this is the dilemma the Giants have. I'm telling you, this is the sweet spot of the draft right here with the New York Giants in the quarterback position.
Well, we will be watching you tonight all over the draft coverage on ESPN. We watch you all year with the matchup show and reporting every Sunday around the NFL. Sal Pal, always a pleasure. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it very much.
Sal Paolantonio joining us here on Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance. A lot to react to.
Yes.
The one line that comes to mind, the Giants need to turn the lights back on.
Oh, yeah.
Are we now ready to revisit Shedeur early? We'll do that next. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by...
Xin chào các mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng bằng hạt màu và dây xỏ nhé. Thị trường Hoa Kỳ chiếm cổ phần thành tổng kim ngạch xuất khẩu của Trung Quốc với quy mô lớn như vậy, không có quốc gia nào trên thế giới có thể thay thế được. Ôi giời ơi, vừa thấy có cái xương mặt được mấy hôm. Nếu nền kinh tế sụp đổ, đây thực sự sẽ là một đòn mạnh giá và sự cai trị. Sưng hết mặt vào. Nếu mà bị suy yếu, tình trạng thất nghiệp sẽ trở nên nghiêm trọng hơn. Thu nhập của người dân sẽ giảm mạnh, tiêu dùng sẽ không còn nữa.
toàn bộ môi trường kinh tế sẽ sụp đổ nhanh chóng. Sự sụp đổ kinh tế tạo ra chất xúc tác cho tình trạng bất ổn dân sự. Các cuộc biểu tình tập thể ở các thành phố và thị trấn trên khắp mọi nơi, cũng như sự đối đầu giữa quan chức và công chúng do việc duy trì sự ổn định và đàn áp của chính quyền sẽ được tăng cường trên diện rộng. Khi đó sẽ trở thành cuộc đối đầu giữa lực lượng duy trì ổn định và làn sóng phản đối của dân chúng. Sự thay đổi trong cán cân quyền lực giữa hai bên sẽ quyết định ai sẽ chiến thắng. Kể từ khi thành lập nước Cộng hòa Nhân dân Trung Hoa, Đảng Cộng sản Trung Quốc đã trải qua nhiều cuộc khủng hoảng, nhưng đã thoát khỏi cuộc khủng hoảng bằng cách ứng phó với những thay đổi trong tình hình bên trong và bên ngoài. Nga nói năm 1949-1950, chính sách kinh tế sai lầm của Mao Trạch Đông, đặc biệt là cuộc hoạt động đại đẻ gọn, đã khiến 36 triệu đến 43 triệu người chết đói. Đây được coi là nạn đói tồi tệ nhất trong lịch sử nhân loại, gây ra được các quyết định chính trị và kinh tế sai lầm. Liêu Tú Kỳ và Đặng Tử Bình phải mất nhiều năm sau để cứu vãn được sự sụp đổ. Đài cách mạng văn hóa năm 1966-1976 đã gây ra nhiều biến động sâu sắc trong một mặt của cuộc sống chính trị, văn hóa và xã hội. Cách mạng văn hóa đã gây ra sự sụp đổ của hệ thống giáo dục, sự phá hủy cơ sở hạ tầng và di sản văn hóa, cũng như làm gián đoạn sản xuất công nghiệp và nông nghiệp. Điều này dẫn đến các kinh tế nặng nề và sự suy thoái trong nhiều lĩnh vực. Nhờ cuộc đàn áp mở cửa của Đặng Tử Bình mới cứu được sự sụp đổ và đã tạo ra sự phát triển mạnh mẽ khiến Trung Quốc vươn lên thành cường quốc kinh tế thứ hai thế giới. Nhưng ngày nay, người dân Trung Quốc chưa bị tận hưởng một thập kỷ